I'm Sal Milici from Freight and Trade Alliance in the Australian Peak Shippers Association, and I'm here with Paul Zalai, who is also from Freight and Trade Alliance and the Australian Peak Shippers Association. Paul has been very closely involved in establishing the upcoming 2026 Australia and New Zealand Shipping and Logistics Conference, 27th and 28th of August at the Sheraton on the Park in Sydney. Paul, thanks very much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks, Sal.
So FTA's been operating now for close to 14 years. Looking back to when you and Caroline founded the organisation, has it met your expectations?
Yeah, thanks, Sal. Look, it's probably well and truly exceeded our expectations. We, from the outset, even just by the name of the Business Freight and Trade Alliance, we wanted to be holistic and try and include a wider ecosystem of the trade sector, not just specific niche areas. So we've achieved that in spades, really. So we've got 530 corporate members at the moment, and they range from predominantly freight forwarding companies, customs brokers, also many major importers, but then others in the supply chain too, like depots, fumigation providers, and others. Probably the big turning point for us and increasing our overall focus and our credibility, I suppose, as well too, is when we took over the secretariat of the Australian Peak Shippers Association. We've been doing that since the 1st of January 2017. So now we're really a very holistic organisation representing both the import and export sectors.
Really, so much that we look after, isn't there? Tell us, Paul, about the motivation behind hosting the Australia and New Zealand Shipping and Logistics Conference.
Yeah, okay. So, look, a lot of our members and a lot of our sponsors have been saying to us for a long time, that we should be doing a conference. We were hesitant to do so until we were ready. So, we started from scratch back in 2012. We needed to build a solid foundation. And we're probably at that point now, or we are at that point now, where we've got a strong base to be able to do something like this. The other thing is too, through the Australian Peak Shippers Association, APSA, we're members of the Global Shippers Forum and also the Asian Shippers Alliance. And through that, that's given us an opportunity to work very closely with our good friends in New Zealand in the New Zealand Cargo Owners Council. And we've been talking with them for some time on this concept of a trans-Tasman arrangement. There were a few stumbling blocks along the way. One of them was COVID, where events weren't happening. But since that time, we've got on with life quite well, and we've had more talks with our friends in New Zealand, and we decided to make it a happening thing. So we're kicking it off with this event in Sydney in August, but we'll be rotating it each year between Australia and New Zealand.
Let's talk about the conference program. It's really coming together, and we definitely don't have time to go through the whole thing today. But what do you see as some of the highlights of the conference program?
Yeah, I'll give you some of the broad headlines. So we're looking at ESG, and we've got Craig Carmody there from the who's the CEO of the Port of Newcastle. He'll be heading up that talk, and they're not just a major port for coal, but they're doing some incredible things there in the ESG space. And the other thing is too, they're going to be a real hub for the importation of a lot of the wind farms that are coming into the country. So it'll be interesting to hear Craig's thoughts on that. We've got the shipping and logistics, looking at market competition, and really big news for us is that we've got the US Federal Maritime Commissioner Rebecca Dye, is coming out for the event. And so it'd be interesting to get an insight on how things are done in the US and what lessons we can learn. More broadly, looking at international shipping, looking at technology. Again, obviously AI is a big thing, but we'll be getting some presentations from WiseTech Global, from One Stop, and from Clear AI, as well as a panel session looking after that. Air freight, we've got the Western Sydney Airport, massive development here for Sydney and for Australia. And then, of course, we've got border and biosecurity, which we'll be covering off on day 2 as well. So that's the broad outlook. We have got a great night planned at New South Wales Parliament House in the Strangers Room, and we've got some good fun entertainment at that as well. So throw into that a welcome function and an APSA AGM the day before the event. It'll be a pretty action-packed few days.
Really looking forward to it. And just finally, what are you hoping that the delegates will take away from the conference, particularly in terms of industry collaboration and discussion?
Yeah, I think you said that. I think collaboration's the key word. So we'll be bringing together different stakeholders. So we'll have the major importers and exporters in the room. We'll have government representatives, but then we've got the logistics service providers, the freight forwarders, the customs brokers, and others. So it makes it a bit more unique, bringing all those different people together. But look, selfishly, we're trying to gain something from it as well. So we're looking to get big numbers at this event to support our advocacy work. So when we have the minister there and we have the secretaries and commissioners and others there, they realise that it's not just you and me, Sal and Tom and the others banging on about things, that we actually have got a following behind us.
Yeah.
So for a credibility perspective, for an advocacy perspective, it's also got an exceptionally important role to play.
All right. Well, thanks, Paul, for sharing those insights. Appreciate you taking the time and definitely look forward to seeing everyone at the 2026 Australia and New Zealand Shipping and Logistics Conference. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Sal. Thank you.